imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell.
However you got to this site, whatever you had to click on, thanks for being here and welcome. And I really want to start with a poem, which I'm not a poetry guy, but for you, my MKP brethren, who had the absolute, what's the word I want, of hearing Don Jones, the absolute pleasure of hearing Don Jones open up a Thursday night Warrior Weekend. He would recite D.H. Lawrence, and this poem has come back to me, and I read it almost every day. And for me, it speaks of everything. It speaks of life, it speaks of death, it speaks of corporations, it speaks of banking, it speaks of everything. So I want to start with that because it's so poignant for me. So if you can remember Big Don Jones standing up in front and saying, I don't have his voice, unfortunately, but his deep voice. When we get out of the glass bottles of our ego, and when we escape like squirrels, turning in the cages of our personality and get into the forest again, we shall shiver with cold and fright, but things will happen to us so that we don't know ourselves. Cool, unlying life will rush in, and passion will make our bodies taut with power. We shall stamp our feet with new power, and old things will fall down. We shall laugh, and institutions will curl up like burnt paper. So I guess some of that, I feel like some of that is happening to me, that the institution of life maybe is gonna, not maybe, seems to be curling up like burnt paper. So the purpose of all of this is to, I'm a people guy, and Anya's a people gal. And I really want to invite anyone who wants to share some of this journey with me and with us. So we've chosen this mode to do it. The underlying, and there is an underlying reason for this, and it has to do with, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. You know, the doctors give me these timelines, which I won't even talk about. But we need to raise some money. We are at very limited means. Most of my life, and Anya's life too, has been devoted to service rather than chasing the dollar. So we haven't chased down a whole lot of dollars. And hopefully we put a whole lot of service in the bank. So maybe for this next period, and certainly in my life, we can make some withdrawals in the bank. I've chosen not to seek aggressive treatment for this cancer that's inside me. I don't believe in it. I don't think it services the journey that I really want to be on. And I've chosen to, however long I have to be here, to live a life of vitality and health and love and joy. And we're asking for some support in doing that. So from your heart, from your pocketbook, however you feel comfortable, any way that you choose to do this would be more than appreciated. And if you don't have the means, please stay with us. Please stay on the journey. We'll be talking. I'll be listening to you, to myself, and hopefully I'll learn a whole lot more than I've learned so far. So thanks for being here. You want something to say?
This is a time of great learning, a time of surrender and letting go of a lot of agendas for me. And it's very surreal. I wanted to talk about that because, I work with elderly people, and one of the gifts that I have is to be able to relate to them as who they are, not as their diagnosis. So Paul has this diagnosis, and it's very unreal to me.
It's unreal to me too.
It's very unreal. I mean, there's cancer, that C word, that big C word, and not a whole lot of symptoms. And so it's very unreal. The only thing that I'm aware of is that there seems to be an intensity and a flavor in our life right now that's bringing everything into a kind of a crystallization and a time of really paying attention and listening and poignancy. And I love that, and I'm grateful for that. But I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's just coming from our hearts and from our love for each other. And it's being precipitated by this whatever it is. And it could be this whatever it is, this cancer, but it could also be the times that we're living in, which are really extraordinary. Things are breaking down and falling apart, and we're being asked, I've been asked for a long time now, what's really important? What do we really pay attention to? What are our priorities? And they seem to get bigger and brighter and louder right now. And I have a lot of feeling about that. And I've talked with some people, and I really feel that, many of us are being brought to this moment now of surrender and brought to our knees and humility and what's really important. Where is the love in our life? Where is our garden? Where is our food? Who is in our community? Who is a part of my soul? These are the questions that we're all asking right now, but they seem to be bigger right here between us.
Yeah.
Because of this
Thing.
story. There's this story, and it's very surreal to me because if I don't think about it, it almost doesn't exist. What really does exist is the feeling between us and the quality of life that we've had and that we continue to have. That's very real. So sometimes I walk around in a daze and wondering, well, what's this all about? Well, what's this all about? How did you show up? And how did Joseph walk in the door at this moment? And, life is this whole series of beautiful synchronicities now. And lovely people coming forward with their hearts wide open, with this great generosity and this great love. And is it because... But why? I mean, why is this happening?
I haven't got the slightest idea.
I guess it doesn't matter why. You get the Booby Prize for knowing why, but I do ask that question. How,
See, I'm not sure there's always an answer to why, and I'm not really interested. Because I can spend a lot of time trying to figure out why and speculate and come up with all of these great reasons that may have absolutely nothing to do with the truth. So the only truth I have now is hang out with the people I love, especially this one. So the good news is that we've been around together for 30 plus years, and we love each other more than we ever have. So it's possible. As hard as it has been, it's possible.
A brotherhood.